I know this is going to sound so bizarre, but it is so important for us to feel the pain that we need to feel. Feel the pain that you need to feel. A lot of the times, failing to feel the pain that you need to feel is what makes us, and it makes us irresponsible people, irresponsible human beings. You know, if you're wrong, for instance, especially when you've argued something so strongly and you discover that you're wrong or you're proved to be wrong, it's not a nice feeling. I know it's not a nice feeling, but acknowledge it. Now, I'm not saying live in the pain, I'm not saying dwell in it, but just acknowledge it. Like, let it do what it came to do. Let those emotions do what they came to do. When you know or you figure out that you're wrong, it's supposed to humble you. So correction, you take it. It's supposed to humble you and maybe then make you rethink your steps and your actions, and maybe prepare you to be better arranged, equipped, studied, whatever it may be next time. It came to do something, you know? But if you try to fight that emotion, then it doesn't produce any good fruit. These things came to make us grow. These are the things that make you a responsible human being. If you have a regret, for instance, maybe for your actions or your inactions or your thoughts, whatever it may be that causes you regret, instead of you trying to justify, give an excuse, re-explain in your mind to other people, put up defenses, no, acknowledge it. I regret my actions, I regret my thoughts, I regret not doing what I'm supposed to do, and let that thing do what it's supposed to do inside of you. Let it do what it's supposed to do and push you up to make you a better person. Now, if these emotions were not necessary, then God would not have allowed them to have been there in the first place. So, they're there to do something. They're there to bring correction. Those emotions that makes you swell up inside, that probably gives you sleepless nights, that that causes all this, acknowledge them and then take them to God. Bring them in prayer. Admit those that you need to admit by it with your mouth. Say those ones that you need to say to God, and think about how you can make a change. I cannot help but to reflect back on the creation story, Adam and Eve, after they fell. What would have happened if they had just acknowledged that they were wrong? If instead of, when God questioned them, instead of the excuses that they brought up, Adam said, "Is this woman that you gave me?" The woman said, "Is the serpent, he deceived me." Instead of everybody just casting blames and put it down from one person to another, if everyone just kind of like admitted that they were wrong, take responsibilities for the areas where they had gone wrong. Eve was wrong for eating the fruit. The serpent was wrong for deceiving Eve. Eve was wrong for eating the fruit. Adam was wrong for listening to his wife. Everybody was wrong. But because nobody wants to acknowledge they're wrong, there was like a friction, there was a problem. I always wonder what would have happened if they just said, "We're sorry. We should not have done that. Please help." It takes humility, serious humbleness for us to come to that place where we're able to do that. But a lot of the times, what's happening today is exactly what happened with Adam and Eve, the creation story. A lot of the times, believe it or not, this is the same thing that we're doing today, where we are supposed to feel the pain that we need to feel. We raise up justifications, excuses, we cast blames, we cause arguments, we bicker, we point the finger, we don't want to see ourselves for what we really are. We don't want to see our flaws, so we try to cover them up. A lot of people try to cover them up, and people go throughout life covering up, and never coming into terms with the fact that they need to change. We are human beings. You are an imperfect being. You must change. Change is how you grow. And most times changes come through those horrible experiences. Most times changes come through those places where you are corrected, those places where you have regrets, those places where you've taken the wrong tracks. Like, changes come through those things, and those are the things that makes us better people, you know. So that's my message for you today. Stop dodging the feeling, acknowledge the pain, and accept it for what it came to do. You know, as believers, the Bible didn't promise that we would not experience pain. A lot of the times today, you go to churches, you hear preachers, they're selling you a false gospel. That's like, the gospel of Jesus Christ did not promise that we will not experience pain. Actually, it told us to be equipped for pain. You know, it told us to that we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers and rulers of darkness in high places. There's a wrestling. There's a fight. There's a lot of pain. It says, when you go through the book of Isaiah, when you go through the fire, I will be with you. When you go through the waters, I will be with you. The waters will not overtake you. The fire will not consume you. That's pain. That's not comfort. That's inconvenience. That's discomfort. That's pain. But the Lord is saying that He will be with us through it all. If only we can humble ourselves and stop trying to dodge the pain. You know, if you go through like you know, the writing by the Apostle Paul, you see so many places in his writing where he's encouraging us to actually in fact to rejoice when we are afflicted, because he's saying that it's through those afflictions, it's through those harsh experiences that we actually become a better person. So dodging the pain is not God's will for us. It's not God's way for us. Jesus Christ in his in one of the Beatitudes, he said that let me remember it correctly. He said, "Blessed are you if you are persecuted for righteousness." You're persecuted for righteousness' sake. You are blessed. So there will be a persecution, there will be pain. And in this aspect, Christ is talking about righteousness. Even that takes humility. Imagine being persecuted because you're right. Not because you're wrong, but because you're right. You're being persecuted. How do you handle that? Do you handle that with humility? Do you handle that with grace? Or do you handle that with anger and pride? Like, I want to prove that I'm right, and like, you know, I want to let loose and just throw all that I have and just come with so much strength and anger, and that's pride. That's not humility. That's pride. You know. And so let the Lord do the work that He needs to do in you through it all. Feel it. Experience it. Live it. Pain is proof that you're alive. So live it. Experience it. And be grateful for it. It came to teach you a lesson. Feel the pain that you need to feel.